welcome to my channel. If you're working on your flexibility, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel to get updates whenever I post new videos on Fridays. I've been getting so many requests to make a beginner splits routine, so here it is. There will be a lot of modifications in this routine, so make sure that you have a pillow and some yoga blocks. These are so important to help you stretch correctly, and they really help you get the most out of each of your stretches. If you find any of these stretches to be too difficult, be sure to just back it off a little bit and try again. I hope this video helps you to get your splits. Without further ado, let's get started. We'll start off this routine by doing 5 hip tucks. Bring your right leg to the front, making sure that both of your legs are at 90 degrees. Now tuck your hip forward, pressing your hip towards the front of the mat, feeling a stretch on the top side of your hips. Repeating 4 more times, making sure that you feel the top side of your hip each time. Actively press forward and hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Continue to press your hips forward. Actively press to the front and we'll hold our last rep. If you'd like a deeper stretch, lean back just a little so that you can feel the stretch in your hips. Repeating onto the next side, bring your left leg to the front, making sure that both of your legs are at 90 degrees. Now tuck your hips forward, feeling the stretch on the top side of your hips. Repeating 4 more times, making sure that you feel the top side of your hip each time. Actively press to the front and we'll hold our last rep. Adding a little bit of a lean if you're not feeling the stretch. Practicing hip tucks help with squaring out your hips while doing the front splits. Next, we'll be using yoga blocks. You may place them in a vertical position, a horizontal position, or flat, depending on how much support you need for each of the stretches. Now we'll be getting into a low lunge. Make sure that your hips are square by pressing your hip down and forward. You should feel the stretch on the top side of your hips, the same way we did in the previous movement. Hold and continue to breathe, keeping your body in an upright position. Two more big deep breaths here. Next, we'll press our right knee outwards into a lizard pose. Feeling an external rotation in our hips. Breathe nice and slowly. If you'd like, you can walk yourself down onto your forearms to deepen the stretch. Or you can stay in an upright position. breathing in and out as you think about where you're feeling the stretch. Next, we'll gently shift ourselves back into a hamstring stretch, making sure that both of your hips are aligned. Use the yoga blocks to help keep your body in an upright position. Check to see if your back is flat. Continue to hold, feeling the stretch along your calves and in your hamstrings. If you'd like, you can walk your yoga blocks forward. Or just keep them next to you, wherever you're able to maintain a flat back. Moving on to the next side, place your left leg in front into a low lunge. If your hips are open out, press your hips downwards so that they are facing the ground, making sure that your knees are aligned with your ankles. Continue to breathe. Yoga blocks help you maintain an upright position. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Next, we'll press our left knee outwards into a lizard pose, with our hands on the mat as support. Continue to breathe and actively press your left knee outwards, feeling the stretch on the inside of your thighs. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, walk your hands down onto your forearms. If this is too much, you can walk yourself up onto your hands. Let's bring our legs back in and move on to a hamstring stretch, making sure that our hips are squared. Keep your chest up and your back flat. Over time, you should be able to bring your stomach closer to your thigh. Continue to hold this stretch and actively press your heel down towards the mat to feel your hamstrings engage. On each exhale, try to reach a little bit further. The goal here is to reach past your toes rather than towards your toes. Over time, you'll be able to walk the yoga blocks forward and try to reach beyond your feet. Holding here for 2 more breaths. For the next part of the stretch, we'll be using a pillow. Place the pillow underneath your hips. With the pillow beneath you, bend your right leg and extend your left leg straight. Walk your hands back as support. You should feel the stretch along your quadriceps and your hips. If you'd like a deeper stretch, walk back onto your forearms and continue to press your hip towards the ceiling. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Walking ourselves up, we'll now be doing a modified pancake stretch. With the pillow as support, reach your hands in front of you, feeling the stretch deep in your hamstrings and inner thighs. Having the pillow underneath us helps to tilt our pelvis forward so that we're able to get a little bit deeper into the stretch than we'd normally be able to. When your muscles start to relax, walk your hands a little forward. Next, we'll walk our hands over towards our extended leg. Bring our stomach towards our thighs. Make sure that your back is flat. This should be much easier with a pillow underneath us. Now we'll add a side stretch by placing our arm on the ground and reaching our right arm up and overhead, feeling the stretch down the sides of your body. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Let's walk ourselves up. We'll repeat this on the next side. Extend your right leg and place your left leg beside you. Walk your hands back as support. You should feel the stretch along your quadriceps and your hips. If you'd like a deeper stretch, walk back onto your forearms and continue to press your hip towards the ceiling to feel the stretch in your quads. This is an assisted reclined hero pose. Walking ourselves up, we'll now be doing a modified pancake stretch. Reach your hands in front of you with your legs in the same position. Breathe nice and gently as you walk your hands forward, feeling the stretch deep in our hamstrings and our inner thighs. Now, let's walk ourselves towards our extended right leg. Try to bring your stomach towards your thighs by reaching in front of you. Again, the goal here isn't to reach for our toes, but to reach beyond that. Make sure that your back is flat and that you're not bending over to try to reach for your toes. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Now we'll add a side stretch. Place your right arm onto the ground and bring your left hand up and over, feeling a nice stretch on the sides of our body. Focus on keeping your chest and arms open as you look up towards the ceiling. Breathe nice and gently. For the next part of this stretch, we'll be needing our yoga blocks again, as well as our pillow. Place the pillow underneath your back hip, with your yoga blocks on either side. We'll be doing a low lunge and slowly walking our front leg forward as we get into our front splits. Make sure that your knee is aligned with your ankle and that your hips are facing downwards. Now we'll begin to walk our front leg forward. Hold and breathe, noticing how the stretch feels as you walk your leg to the front. Now begin to walk your right leg forward. It may help to lower the blocks down another level. If you can straighten out your front leg and feel your hip rest against the pillow. If you're not quite here yet, just walk your front leg out as much as you can. Working on your splits definitely takes a lot of time and patience, so if you're not able to get there today, it'll just take more practice. It took me about 5 months of training every day to be able to touch my toes and get my splits. Repeating on the next side, bring your left leg to the front into a low lunge. Make sure that your knee is aligned with your ankle and that your hips are facing downwards. Breathe nice and gently. Hold for one breath, and then we'll slowly walk our left leg forward. Again, noticing if you're feeling the stretch in a different place. Hold and breathe. Now slowly walk your left leg forward, just a little bit more. If you can, straighten out your front leg and hold, continuing to breathe. You may want to adjust your yoga blocks depending on where you are from the ground. When we practice our splits, make sure to keep your upper body in an upright position rather than leaning forward. In the beginning, we tend to lean forward. Using the yoga blocks will help you correct for this by allowing you to focus on your form. Now we'll reset our hips by getting into a seated position, moving our yoga blocks and our pillow aside. Grab onto both feet with your knees apart and begin to flutter them, giving movement back into our hips. Next, we'll do a few windshield wipers with our knees. For the final part of this stretch, we'll be laying down onto our backs and hugging both knees in as we draw circles outwards and draw 5 circles inwards. Now let's extend our arms and legs, reaching as far as we can on both sides. Breathe and feel your body elongate. Whenever you're ready, gently roll yourself up. We're done this routine. Thanks so much, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this beginner splits routine. Make sure you're subscribed to stay on top of all the new content that I put out. And I really hope that this flexibility series helps you achieve your goals, whether that be the splits or the pancake or being able to touch your toes. I don't know where this is gonna go, so let me know in the comments what sort of flexibility routines you'd like to see in the future. Stretch again soon. Bye. And I really hope that the videos from this flexibility, oh my god, I can't pronounce anything. And I really hope that the videos from this